Steve has. I know. I've reached out to him with the text, but not personally.
What would you make of what Michelle said?
Who's that?
Michelle Roberts, she took issue with what you said about
She's working it.
Well, you said you did reach out to Carmelo to try to make sure nothing was misconstrued, or what was the purpose of trying to talk to him again?
It's some personal things that came on the paper. Is difficult. I just want to know that we're supportive of him. It's a tough time.
Do you still view Chris Stapps as the franchise guy, as the guy to build around?
Not talking about.
Not talking about it at all. Okay.
Is there still a possibility Carmelo will be back next season?
Hey, he has a no trade contract.
But from your vantage point, do you want him back? Because I think everybody kind of.
I think I expressed what I felt. I can't express it any better. Thought it was well said, even though a lot of you didn't feel quite that way. But we'd like him to have success. The opportunity is narrowing. And we'd just like him to have success somewhere. We're not going to be there. Hopefully we'll be maybe a playoff team next year. It'd be tough to consider us a possible champion.
What about his own personal situation that's been reported with his wife? And do you feel that could be a factor in him wanting to leave? Or
Mark, you want me to talk about this?
well, no, I mean
You don't really. You're working, but no.
What brings you? You usually don't come to this part of it. What made you decide to that?
I feel my friends, the press, you guys, I wanted to see you. I haven't been able to see you in a while. So, actually, we're going directly from here back to New York.
So there's a lot of good point guards in this draft. Do you feel that the point guard position is strong and the best position to help you guys going forward in this draft?
A lot of young players, a lot of good young players, a lot of good guards. But I think there are a lot of good big kids, too. Yeah.
Did you get anything out of the meeting with guys like Markel and De'Aaron?
It's always interesting to meet these young men and have an opportunity to get to know them. They have pretty much a set story that they've been taught, but we hope to knock them off base a little bit and see what their personalities are.
Were you successful?
Yeah, usually we're pretty good. I've got a master interviewer in Clarence Gaines.
When do you know?
He even has his dashiki on
I
tonight.
saw that.
How much
When
do
do
you
you know
dislike
whether
being
they're
in this
ready to
position?
handle sort of the hype of it and the moment, New York City, the league, that type of stuff?
It's tough enough to come in this league in 2019 and expect to mature quickly enough. I told Magic yesterday after we had bumped into each other and had a little chance to exchange. Not too many kids can come into this game and win a championship like he did, back in the '80s. It's just not that way. They're not the maturity. Of course, he was a sophomore when he came out, but it's really tough for the maturation level, particularly the education the game would step to, amount of work it takes, physically, mentally, preparation. So, we don't expect a whole lot out of, some teams even, our franchise, the New York Knicks, deigned to draft guys for a number of years. Back in the 90s, they went with all veterans, gave up a lot of their picks. So, there's that feeling too. But, as this talent pool is narrowed as to how to get talent, it really is important to have both draftable players, tradable players, and free agents. So, we want to look at all these options before we get into it.
When you're looking at these guys, how much?
You don't try to judge that. That's what you get coming and watching here, more than anything else in person.
just to clarify, Adam Silver never phoned you or anything regarding.
No, I phoned him.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
To tell Adam why'd you call him?
Well,
Explain.
I've known Adam for some time, so we talk about business, about various things, about what's important in our franchise. And, we have a number of issues that I think are important. The press is one of them. You guys seem to want to knock us around a little bit and make us look like we don't know what we're doing. But, they're comfortable that we do it. So,
Will I know you don't want to talk about it. Will Kristaps face any disciplinary action for that, a fine or anything?
I won't talk about that. That'll be notified. That'll come out when it does.
But Adam understood that you were speaking at a press conference, and he seemed okay
Yeah.
with everything.
Oh no. Yeah, we're on the path. Yes.
Did you really call Adam to talk about the press?
Well, one of the things, and I've mentioned this before, to have a positive base to work from is really important. And our fan core is positive, and we like to give them hope because they've been disappointed. Well, they weren't disappointed, 20 years ago when they went to the finals. They were surprised, '99. But it's been a long time for hope for our fans. We want them to have that. We've been bridesmaids, but never a bride. Thank you, guys.